The holidays are just around the corner, and as you know, the holidays can get chaotic very quickly, especially when you have children. And I particularly know this because we celebrate both Christmas and Hanukkah, and I have two kids that both have December birthdays, so things are especially crazy over here. And today I'm going to share with you some of my tips and tricks for how I keep things clutter-free and organized rolling into the holiday season, especially when it comes to holiday gift giving for kids. Like I said, I need to be organized when it comes to the holidays. Of course, I'm an organized person in general, but I am hyper organized when it comes to the holidays, and I need to do that because of all of the chaos going on. We travel a lot during the holidays. I have two kids that have a December birthday, and we have Christmas and Hanukkah. My husband has a birthday in January. We usually travel at the end of the year, right around New Year's time as well. So it's just a lot going on, and the best thing that you can do when it comes to the holidays or really any chaotic time period is to prepare in advance. Procrastination is going to be your biggest enemy here, and I have created some strategies and really honed in how to get ahead of things, as well as how to intentionally give gifts to kids that don't add more clutter and chaos to your potentially already cluttered and chaotic home. Here is my clutter-free system when it comes to kids gift giving. I would focus on four main things. The first would be to give intentional gifts. You really want your gifts to feel like they have an actual purpose and meaning behind them. Don't give gifts just for the sake of giving gifts. I know a lot of times we feel guilty thinking, you want your kids to open up a certain number of gifts, or not feeling like you've given them enough, or not feeling like you've spent enough money. None of those things matter if the gifts aren't intentional and they're not things that are going to bring value to your life or their life. Number two would be items with longevity. I think about having toys that will last the next generation. I think about some of the toys my parents saved and my husband's parents saved for grandkids, and I think to myself, like, why did they save those toys? Those toys are falling apart, or they're not super high quality. So I think about whether toys not only are going to last through my children, because right now we have 3 kids, it's possible we may have more, but I want those gifts to last through my first one playing with it, passing it down to my second, passing it down to the third, and then potentially passing it down to grandkids. So nice like wooden toys, things that don't fall apart easily. So toys with longevity and that are high quality are always going to win in my book over a bunch of cheap toys that are probably just going to break. Number 3 is toys that store nicely. So yes, I literally think about, if I'm going to purchase a toy for my kids, where is it going to be stored? Where is it going to go in our house? So if it's a large toy, do we have physical space to have that large toy on display? Do we have space for it to be stored away? Or even small toys, like, is it going to be something with a bunch of small little pieces? Does that mean I'm going to need some sort of storage box for that? Do I already have a organizational system that it can fit into nicely, or am I going to have to kind of revamp the way we organize toys because I've introduced this new concept into our toy collection and into their storage? That's something that I think through, and honestly, it will be something that will deter me from certain toys or push me towards other toys, because I want to keep our home streamlined, and our toys are pretty streamlined, though it's difficult sometimes, especially with 3 kids, and now having a girl, I feel like we're adding girl toys to things, and it's just complicating it. So I want to do whatever I can to try and have that organizational mindset when I'm going through the purchasing process, rather than opening up all the toys and saying, oh shoot, now where do we put these and how do we store them? And number 4 actually rolls kind of right into that. Number 4 is something that I'm using for Hanukkah in particular, especially, but I'm also using it for ideas for others who want to purchase gifts for our kids, is that I love to buy gifts that have play systems that you can always add on to. So examples of this, my kids love Magnetiles. If somebody wants to buy a gift for them, I think a great idea would be to get more Magnetiles or an additional Magnetile set to add to their existing set. So it adds to the organizational system we already have, and it doesn't feel like we're adding in more toys. It's just letting them grow deeper into that one thing that we know they already like, and it allows them to have even more creative play. There are so many times that they're building a Magnetile tower and they literally run out of Magnetiles, and I just think, you know, what would happen if they had more and they could just keep building and keep exploring. And especially toys like that with multiple children, they can all get in and play. Another one that we invested in last year for the holidays, Staplestein. They are these like little modular stepping stones that you can use in so many different ways. But I think they could just continue to get more and more creative if they had more of them. What I'm doing for Hanukkah in particular is they love their train set. So I got them 8 accessories for their train set, whether it's an additional train, it might be a bridge, a couple of extra pieces that are, you know, fun and exciting pieces, not just plain pieces. But I wrapped them all up in the same wrapping paper. And for Hanukkah, I'm gonna let them pick every night. They can pick whichever one they want to open, and they're going to share the gift. The boys are together and open up a new piece to add to their train set. So again, I know it's something they like. It's diving deeper into that particular thing without adding a bunch of clutter. Their Tonies, the Tony box, or if you have a Yodo player, both of those are audio players that are great for kids. I'm going to use the Tonies as stocking stuffers, so they're each going to get one new Tony in their stockings that can add to their Tony box collection. So things like that, if you have a toy that you can keep going deeper into that world rather than spreading out wide and getting even more types of toys, can always help reduce the concept of clutter. Now we have to talk about one of my favorite toys throughout the years, from babyhood through early toddlerhood, which is Lovevery. And I want to thank Lovevery for gifting me these items because it's something we've used since our first Owen was a baby. We got the first box that they offer, and they sell curated play kits that are based on your child's age and stage, and they send you developmentally appropriate toys for that particular age. So it takes all of the guesswork out of trying to figure out what's age appropriate, what's developmentally appropriate, what will help them continue to learn and grow at that age, and just does all of it for you. And it also fits into all of those categories I kind of mentioned earlier. These are the toys that I know are going to last. They're things that I could easily see passing on through all of my kids, have done that, and could see them passing through the next generation. And what I love particularly about our specific situation with birthdays and Christmas and Hanukkah is I don't want to get so many things, but their play kits come with separate items. So I have here the play guide that comes with every play kit for the Storyteller, which is the most recent one I got for Owen. And it comes with individual things in there. So it shows you all the items. There's a book in this one, a puzzle, a cute little puppet theater with like a fort basically, a squeeze and spray mop, which my kids are both gonna love because they both love cleaning. And these are things that I can package up separately. And one of the really nice things is a lot of times they come, I have the mop here, they come in a box already, so I can just wrap this up, or I could literally toss a bow on it because it's beautiful. And I can give like the mop for his birthday, I could give the puzzle for Hanukkah, and I could give the play fort and puppet tent for Christmas. Like I could separate it all out, and it kind of spreads out the excitement. They also oftentimes will tell you the ways to introduce the toys in the play guides. They'll give you lots of different ideas of all the different things you can do with it. So for example, even though the puppet theater is meant to be a puppet theater and literally comes with puppets, they give ideas on how to make it a fort. They also talk about things that you might be feeling as a parent at this stage, things that would be going on with your kid, and other play ideas that don't even involve their specific toys, but things that you could use, items around the house to help engage your child and help to contribute to their development. So Lovevery is a win, honestly, for anyone who has kids from baby to toddlerhood. We also have to talk about more practical gifts or gifts that are absolutely clutter-free. So in my mind, these would be really great items to kind of sprinkle throughout. So when it comes to Christmas, I don't want to give them all toys. It would be nice if some of the gifts that you give them are more of these practical or clutter-free gifts, or even consumable gifts. So first of all, I would recommend gifts that are completely clutter-free, like experiences. This could be a zoo membership, tickets to a certain event, classes, museum passes, all of those types of things would fall into the experience category. Great thing for maybe grandparents to gift, a zoo membership or something like that. Then there's consumables. I love bath items for consumables. I always use these throughout the years when I do like boo baskets, or if I do a little gift basket for Valentine's Day or something, I'll give them like bubble bath or bath bombs or bath crayons, that bath foam, they love bath foam, that you use up and they disappear and they don't add to the clutter of your house. So bath time is a great time to think about what types of gifts and fun things you could incorporate that they're not usually playing with. Craft supplies are great here. Stickers, craft supplies, I will say we have a lot of fun with. And then, like, for example, we just finished up Halloween. We did so many fun Halloween crafts. And then when the season's done, I throw them all away and get rid of them. I've stored a couple of the really like nice ones that he put time into, or I think they're super cute, and we put them on his bookshelf for display for the next year. But for the most part, they are clutter free because I throw away all the nonsense. Don't feel like you have to keep and hold on to all of your kids' crafts. And then the last one is those practical gifts. I am going to gift the boys for Christmas each a pair of slippers. Lucy, our baby, like all of her gifts I'm doing practical because that's all we need. Like, I'm gifting her sleep sacks. So I'm not doing like a bunch of toys for her because she doesn't really need anything at this age. And trust me when I say I know my boys are gonna be so excited for slippers. Last year, I got our older one an electric toothbrush. I said, you're 3 now, and 3-year-olds get to use a special toothbrush. He was so excited for it. So it doesn't have to be a toy. It can be something you would get them anyway. Just add a little special twist to it or something and they will love it just the same. We also have to touch upon how to get organized and how you're going to stay on top of all of this before the holidays. So as you can tell, I have been thinking about this. I have ideas for the kids, what I'm doing, some things I've already purchased and some things I've already wrapped. So those are the keys. You need to, number 1, pre-plan before the holidays. I started a note in my phone where I started listing Owen Christmas, Owen Hanukkah, Owen birthday, Henry Christmas, Henny Hanukkah, Henny birthday, and Lucy Christmas and Hanukkah. Her birthday hasn't happened yet. She's only like a few months old. But I've started this list in my phone and I pre-planned, started purchasing during sales to get ahead of things. And as things come in, when I know which category they fall into, I am wrapping them, putting a sticky note on the outside so I know what it's for and who it's for, and then setting it aside and hiding it so they don't see it. One thing that I am doing, this is so random that I do want to mention for Christmas in particular and for all of the holidays, but I am picking a particular wrapping paper for each event for each kid. For their birthday, I wrapped Owen's gifts in one particular wrapping paper. Henry has a different color. And then for Christmas, I'm doing the same. And I don't know where I saw this. We haven't done this yet before, but I'm excited to do it this year. I have Owen's gift wrapped in one, Henry's in another, and I'm going to put a little scrap of that wrapping paper into their stocking. So they're going to open their stockings first, see all the fun little things, and they'll have a scrap of wrapping paper. And then because they can't read yet, they'll be able to know which gifts are theirs because it matches the wrapping paper in their stocking stuffers. So kind of a fun idea there. But another thing that I am doing to prepare to be as organized as possible is doing a pre-holiday, pre-birthday declutter of toys. We just started having this conversation with our older boy, Owen, who's about to be 4, about how a lot of kids don't have as many toys as he has, as a lot of kids don't have toys at all. So it'd be a great idea to go through his toys and see if there are any toys he's not playing with anymore, any toys that he would want to give to those kids that don't have as many toys. And I was shocked at how quickly he grasped onto that concept, because previously Jim and I have just decluttered toys on his behalf. He wasn't involved in the process, but I always knew I wanted to get him involved because I think it's something really important to learn, that you know, we want to be charitable and give to others, but also that we just don't need so much stuff. And if there's something we're no longer using, if it's no longer serving us, that means it's time to get rid of it. And he just latched onto that concept. We dumped out some of his cars. He said, I don't play with this one. I don't play with that one. Let's give those to other kids. Let's get rid of this. And he was so great at it. And now I feel like we've cleaned out our space a little bit to welcome a few new items to his collection. Last but not least, most people inevitably will get gifts from other people. You want to get them on board without feeling like you're directing them with you have to get this exact item for my child. So some ideas that I have are just explaining that you are maybe this year looking for more experience type gifts, or there are some really practical things that you could use for your children and giving them more general ideas. One of Jim's cousins does this and I thought it was genius. She creates an Amazon wish list or registry throughout the year and just adds things that her kids would like and shares that with family members. So it's used for their birthdays or for the holidays, and you can just make a separate one for each kid with their name, like, you know, Owen's wish list, Henry's wish list, and it can include those types of things that we talked about that are the long-lasting toys, the toys that go deeper into a world that you already have, like extra Magnetile sets. Or you can just kind of suggest those things. Suggest, you know, Owen loves Magnetiles. He would love an additional Magnetile set. So feel free to pick out one that speaks to you, because you might not want to pigeonhole them into the exact gift you're asking for. You don't know how much they want to spend. Maybe they want to get a little creative with it. The last idea you could do for family gifts is you could say, hey, we're really looking to purchase a brand new bike this year, or maybe there's some sort of really expensive item that you think they might want to go in on with a few other family members or a few other friends to try and reduce the number of small little kind of cluttery toys to larger, big, meaningful toys. So hopefully this helps give you some ideas on specific toys you can get. I will try and link some things in the description box, gives you some ideas, hopefully motivates you to get going, because we are totally rolling into the holiday season. It's time to get on it. I am like finishing up wrapping my gifts at this point. So don't feel behind if you're not there yet, because there still is plenty of time. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, I will see you all later.